Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and today I'm going to do something. We are still doing the Decan Walk video, don't worry, but I'm trying to do something different, maybe switch things up a little because it was getting, well, same old, I think, the whole format. And, well, that's one reason. The second thing is I missed my Two of Cups and also I think Three of Cups deadline a little bit. And, well, if you call it a deadline. The thing is that there was some family stuff happening, which again, theme of Cancer. It's very interesting how it all sort of coincided. But yeah, we had some stuff going on at home. So, like a family function, get together, which again, Three of Cups, Two of Cups, there was a lot of cup stuff going on. So it just didn't happen. So I figured I might as well use this opportunity to try something different. So um, take a look at this video, see how I have arranged all the information and all the stuff. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if it makes sense, and maybe I'll do that for the next one for Leo as well. Or maybe I should, yeah, this switch things up a little. Same gets a little boring, right? Anyhow, so here we go. Let's talk about the Cancer zodiac sign and the decans of Cancer, and of course our tarot cards, right? So the sign of Cancer, it's about a month when the sun is usually in Cancer. That's the zodiac sign of Cancer, and this usually starts from 21st June to the 22nd of July. So we are in it. We are in Cancer right now. Okay, so let's dive right into it, because why not? We're here for that. So what is the sign of Cancer all about, right? First and foremost, Cancer is a water sign and it is ruled by the moon. So you can imagine it's all, moon is such a watery planet, water, of course. And so Cancer is really all about emotion, right? This is a sign that is completely motivated and fueled by emotions. Cancerians run on water, if you know what I mean. And I like the image of Cancer goes, it is a crab. And so we have someone who has that sort of protective shell around them, and someone who can provide such a protective shell to others as well, because Cancer is about nourishment. It is supportive, it is enabling, it's very compassionate. Cancer people have this very intense feeling powered existence. They can be deeply sensitive, they can have these very interesting and intense dreams, sometimes even psychic energies or visions and stuff. Cancers people are also all about romance, right? And unconditional love and devotion. Oh my God, it's like this, like pure water all the way, right? It is about motherhood, because moon is also connected with motherhood, and we have self-care and childhood, right? It is all of that. Cancer is also about home, right? And creating and making safe spaces. Cancer is about family and country. This is interesting because in astrology, the fourth house, which kind of also corresponds to Cancer, the fourth house is about the home. And when you kind of extrapolate that, when we do what is called mundane astrology, wherein you look at the astrological charts of different countries, for example, to kind of figure out what's going to happen in that country, the fourth house is about the people, the country, people of the country, right? So it's the homeland, right? So there you go. Cancer is about all these things in a chart, and the sign of Cancer is all about creating that environment and providing the necessary emotional, deeply emotional based energies for that. The flip side of Cancer can also be people who are moody and fearful. childlike, right? They don't grow up emotionally, or just they don't mature so much. They can be very dependent. They can be someone who are, people who are unable to let go. They can be very passive aggressive and emotional blackmail. Oh, but I think emotional blackmail is like the go to negative whatever of pretty much all the water signs. I think because they really know how to wield emotions, for good and, well, not for good. But yeah, Cancerians can do that too. So that's kind of the whole vibe of Cancer. Okay. Well, now let's look at the tarot card that is associated with Cancer, and that is your Chariot card. Now, again, Chariot by itself, when you just look at it from a very tarot perspective, Chariot is about traveling, right? Because when you get into a chariot, you would travel. It's about movement. It can be about success and victory and all of that. And so I've always used to wonder, like, what's chariot got to do with Cancer? And as I was, making this presentation, I suddenly noticed it. It just clicked for me. Look at the chariot, the thing, the way it covers the charioteer, right? Does it not remind you of the protective outer shell of the crab, right? So just like the chariot so the charioteer rather is sort of covered by this outer sort of the canopy of the chariot, right? So that's the very imagery of the crab there in a little way. Each of these chariot cards will have some, there's water here, there's like literally this whole watery background. We have waves here, right? So there is here it's a little, I don't see water, but we do see these blue horses, right? And this canopy here. We have a lot of watery content in the imagery of the chariot card, and so maybe that's the connection. So the chariot is associated with Cancer, but the energy can be a little different, I find, because again, as I said, this is about success, this is about willpower, this is about individuation. So it's a little difficult for me personally to connect chariot with Cancer, except imagery wise, yeah, you do see some shades of Cancer here with the canopy, with the water. But then again, this card is, this guy is literally getting in that chariot and going out there and sort of winning the war. It's about conquest, right? Now here, of course, we are looking at someone, again, maybe that individuation might have that slight connection with that Cancerian vibe where, you come together, the different parts of you come together to form this cohesive whole, right? The moodiness that comes with the Cancerian energy, you might see that here on the charioteer's shoulders. You have this happy and sad faces, right? It's not there in the thought Cancerian guy, but he's fully covered with that armor. Again, very, very crab protective outer shell, I guess, right? You see the moon here. So it's a little, little bits of it, right? We see the Cancerian vibe here, but mostly this chariot is all about success. It's about going out there, creating your identity with that individuation. It's about travel and movement. Now, crabs also move, I guess. So, I mean, every creature pretty much moves. So, I don't know how to connect chariot and Cancer except with a little, few of the imagery things that I have seen. But yeah, this is the card they have connected with Cancer in the tarot. Okay. And so let's go and let's see how we see this energy of Cancer a lot, showing up in the three different decans of Cancer with the three different planets that are associated with each decan. Okay. The first one is the Two of Cups. Here we have Venus in Cancer, which is the first, between the first and 10th degree of Cancer, and the first 10 days of Cancer that start from 21st June, go all the way to 1st of July. Now, Picatrix describes this decan as a man with a curved face. Yeah, here the face is curved upwards. Here we have that, and fingers that look like a horse. Okay, he has white feet. Okay, and tree leaves are attached to his body. Okay, so we do see different interpretations of that same sort of write up in both the Picatrix Decan's deck and the Telos Tarot deck. We see this man, we see all that. The meanings that are kind of attached to this decan are wittiness, mindfulness, friendliness, delicacy, and cleanliness. So it's intriguing how that comes together. So let's see how this energy shows up later. We'll look at when we look at the cards. But here we do see this, the horse-like energy. And again, the horse, I would like to, connect that with the horses of the charioteer as well. So there is something there, I guess, with the Cancer imagery in the tarot. Are we grasping? Are we trying to just grasp for meaning here? I don't know. You tell me. Venus. We've met Venus before, right? Venus is about romance. Venus is about beauty and art and aesthetics. It's the expression of that beauty. Venus is also about values. It's about what you value in yourself, what you value in others, what you value in whatever you are manifesting, making, creating, your world, everything, your moral values, your ethical values, all kinds of values. Values are this big territory of Venus. It's about creativity, it's about pleasure, it's about sociability, friendships, generosity, it's about attraction and affection. It's a very feminine, but also very very much attached to beauty kind of a thing. And Venus, on the negative side, is about vanity, manipulation, and superficiality. Venus is a very earthy planet, and it rules Taurus and Libra. Right? So, in the tarot, Venus is connected with the Empress card. And we all know the Empress is all about abundance. She's about creation. She's about beauty and manifestation. She's about making things lovely and nourishing. So there's a slight Cancer energy overlap as well. It's with the motherhood, with the softness, with the nourishment angle, with the creativity energy there. So we do see there's this very interesting overlap between Venus and the Cancer also in the tarot too. We see that energy within the Empress. Venus does definitely show up here in the imagery of these four decks. The cards that we are looking at with love and beauty and fertility and all of that amazing Venus energy, right? So when we look at Venus in Cancer in the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, we see a very interesting image. Here, the keyword assigned to this card is birth, right? And the book description says that this is the angel of birth about a newborn baby. The rocky cavern suggests the hard protective shell of Cancer. And above we have the sun and moon, which kind of, watching over, safeguarding this birth. And these two sigils here are the seal of Venus and the spirit of Venus. Interesting. So the keyword they've given Venus is love, and the keyword for Cancer is nurturing attachment. So together, Venus and Cancer, it brings a very sensitive, very romantic kind of vibe, which makes sense because both these energies have that little vibe of mothering and caring. So we have that home and family. It's nurturing, it's happy, sort of well fed, cozy and comfortable, cared for. A home with children, right? A home with garden. Oh, Venus Cancer together, right? Very aesthetic. It's all about security. Venus in Cancer is about stability and security and like sort of showing affection, like demonstrably. They need to see that. They need to see the love. They need to, see it not just in, theory, but in practice. So, and so it's very cozy. It's lovely, right? They are also social. But they love to entertain at home or wherever they go. They will create that vibe. Okay? This card can also, or this energy can also be about reunion with childhood friends, birth of a child, family, motherhood. On the flip side, can be overwhelming, smothering, and excessive. I like this. It's a good connection. It's a good vibe, right? Now the number energy, of course, with two, because we're gonna link it to the Two of Cups, right? And the two energy is about duality. So it's about cooperation where the two energies work together. It's an association. Here, two is about also choices. Right? It's about partnership, connection, imbalance, feelings, sensitivity, and an either or. So it's like when two things come together apart, and what are all the energies, the tensions that happen in between? That's your two. So let's bring it into our tarot, right? So we have Venus in Cancer, which is associated with your Two of Cups. And Venus, that energy of love, of beauty, of value, right? And the Cancerian sort of energy of emotions and nourishment and sort of safety and security coming together. So when we see in the Rider-Waite image, we do see when these two people are coming together and sharing the cup, or this is often linked to the hand fasting ritual, seeing as to how they are wearing flowers in their hair and they're very well dressed, and there's like this home in the distance. So like they're getting together with the whole idea that we will eventually marry, right? But often, in a reading, this can be like two people meeting, connecting, the first date. So we have all this beautiful energy here. We also see we see that lion energy, which is a very fiery sort of, with lion's head with wings kind of show up there, which again is a very, maybe that's passion, right? Because Leo. But again, there is no Leo connection or like that with this particular card in the astrology sense. So it's very interesting how this shows up. There's also this little rod, which is often associated with Mercury or with Asclepius, maybe, with these two snakes intertwined, which often talks about healing, because there's the story that Mercury was going and these two snakes were fighting. So he threw his rod and they sort of, started to like each other or love each other, and so all of that. So you often see this symbol or a variation of this on, medical places and ambulances and hospitals and so forth, because it's the rod of healing. And then there's the rod of Asclepius, which just often has just the one snake about it. So that they often sort of get combined together, I would say. But we do see that. So there is that healing, which makes sense with Cancer, I suppose. But this is also a very Mercurian symbol to some extent. And I'm going to talk about how I think that both Mercury and Venus make sense here, and also with the Three of Cups. But we'll talk about it. Don't worry, I have a slide for that. But yeah, we do see this connection happening. We do see them bonding. We do see them sort of sharing their feelings and emotions with each other. So that's also the communication part is the Mercury, right? We see a similar vibe here with the Two of Cups from your Marseille Tarot. There's also this little shield here with the G and M. A lot of people say that this is like a royal shield, and these are probably the names of the king and the queen at the time. But hey, I think that could make sense. But then you see you have these two cups, and you have this little flower, and then something comes out. There's another flower, and then we have these really. I don't think they are looking at each other very cutely. These fish have a very strange expression. They're looking at each other. Now, fish in the tarot sort of ethos have a very interesting connection with the story of Jesus with the fish and the loaves and all of that. And so fish often represent abundance, plenty, nourishment. Yes, because you eat, you nourish your body. So there is that. There is this, flowering and fruitfulness kind of vibe here with the flower, and maybe this is the fruit. So yeah, you could see that connection here too, right? There is that alliance, there is a partnership, there is that emotional connection, something, because these two cups come together, something flowers, bears fruit, and there's nourishment, there's plenty, there's abundance that is created as a result of it. So we have this meanings here of the romantic union, the marriage prospect, and all of that. It's very nice. In the thought as well, you do see the same thing. This is one fish, this is another fish. They're kind of intertwined, which is interesting, with this intertwined energy here. And then this lotus kind of grows out of, I guess, another lotus. And then we have all the water flowing into these two cups. So it's, the keyword here is love, which is interesting. So yeah, we have that happy relationship, a reconciliation, a joyful meeting. Then again, this can be, work related too, as a business partnership. But again, all of this is emotionally motivated. So even if this signifies some kind of a business partnership, the connection between the two people is based on something very feelings based, something very, emotions based. So yeah. And then we also see that lotus imagery here in the Telos Tarot. We see these intertwined plants, I guess, and then these dolphins, right? And we also see, this is Venus, I would say, and this is the symbol from the Decan. And yeah, so this could also be the Cancerian mother, both of them together, I guess. So this is a very interesting imagery from the Telos deck as well. So we have healing love. Oh, Chiron. Comforting type of love. The womb. Oh, this looks like a womb. Love, mutual nurturing, romantic and platonic relationships, and create and sustain a fruitful environment. So yeah, Venus brings that beautiful vibe of loving and also value. I like the word value when we look at Venus, because both these people, they value each other here, right? There is, they trust each other, and they value each other, they value themselves, and therefore they can give that value to the other. Nice. So you see that, you do see that. But I also do see some shades of Mercury here, if you ask me. Anyway, so this is also, I spent some time putting this slide together, saying, hey, let's look at how this energy of Venus and, Venus and Cancer shows up here, right? This might be something like, if, go down in the description, I will have a link, and you can download the PDF of this entire sort of presentation, and you can, spend some time looking at this imagery. Maybe on your computer, you can make it a big image and spend some time and see how these energies come together in a strange way. See how this crab energy with the canopy and everything creates that nourishing space, and these the Venus energy bringing in that love and the values and everything, and it all comes together here. This is like a little nourishing space that they have created, and so these two cups can sort of communicate, maybe. Yeah, just spend some time with this picture. Sometimes, I used to do this, and I still do this. I like to just lay the cards down together all at once, or nowadays I just do it in my computer. I put it there, and I just keep looking at that picture, or I just keep that picture on my screen, and now and then I just glance at it, and then suddenly something will just click. Yeah. And you're like, aha, okay, this makes sense. This often happens to me. So you can do that with this slide if you want. Okay, so next up, we go into the second decan of Cancer, where we have Three of Cups associated with Mercury in Cancer. So this is your 2nd of July to 11th of July. I don't know why I have this twice, but something I missed out. Okay, nevertheless. This is from the 11th to the 20th degree of Cancer. And the Picatrix description is a beautiful woman longing for pleasure and singing, wearing a wreath made of green basil on her head and holding a rod of nenuphar or water lily in her hand, right? So we see that here as well. I think she's singing. She has this harp and she has this wreath. And this is the moon and the phases of the moon, I think. And this is very interesting because the second phase is Mercury. Or is this Mercury? I don't know. I looked into the booklet, but the booklet only said, that she, the deck creator, she was inspired by Saraswati, hence the peacock, because she thinks the Hindu goddess Saraswati is very much sort of, has shades of Mercury in her. So she used that to inspire her to draw this figure, which is nice, which is interesting. But again, I'm truly honestly waiting for the book for this deck. If you guys are following the deck creator M.M. Milleen, I think he is making this a book. I mean, there's a little booklet that comes with the deck, but she's really making a book. And in that book, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff, the associations, interpretations, and I'm truly looking forward to buying that book when it comes out, because I really want to dive deep into the imagery of this card with the help of this book. Because the little book, I mean, it has a little information, but it's not a lot. I want to know more. What are these? Are these Mercury? Are these the moon? I will not rest until I feel like if you guys have any ideas, please feel free, drop your thoughts in the comments. There's definitely all this water here. Yeah, Cancer. Makes sense. I like it. Okay. So the keywords associated with this decan are entertainment and enjoyment of music, grace, honor, wealth. Okay. And here we have the word abundance. So yeah, 3 of Cups. Okay, so let's understand. Oh, Mercury. Yes, let's not forget. This is Mercury, right? Mercury in Cancer. And Mercury is an air sign. Airy planet. Airy planet. And it rules over Gemini and Virgo. So Mercury is the mind. Mercury is about the intellect. It's about reason. It's about expression, right? It's about communication. All the things that you do with the mind and the logic and the air energy, really. And Mercury is about all the different skills and learning habits that you have. It's about the interests and the curiosity. Mercury also is about travel and commerce, right? And change and adaptability, transitions. On the flip side, or on a different level, Mercury is associated with the trickster archetype. It's a psychopomp, which is again a figure that sort of accompanies you as you travel through the different realms. I believe. Now, Mercury is very interestingly, within the Greek pantheon and Hermes in the Roman pantheon. Mercury has the ability to go from sort of the higher realms, the heavens, I guess, then the earthly realms, the mortal realm, and then also the underworld, right? Because unless you're dead, you can't go to the underworld. I guess Persephone did it, but then she had to eat the pomegranate seeds there. And Mercury doesn't have to do that. He can go. So that's the ability, special ability that Mercury has, because he's the messenger, right? But then the flip side of Mercury can be fickle, superficial, shallow. Thoughts could be scattered. There could be, prejudices, dishonesty, and all kinds of mistakes that happen when you rush or hurry through stuff. So yeah, Mercury, right? So now Mercury in your tarot is associated with the Magician card, which I think kind of embodies that nicely. We have someone who has the ability to think and make things happen, the manifestation ability, the ability for trickery and sleight of hand that you see here with the Battler in Tarot de Marseille, the Magus, yeah, again in your thought, he's flying with the winged sandals of Hermes. We see this connection with thought, that monkey is associated with thought. We see this whole very mental energy. The thing with the magician, and again, it's all about what you can think, you can manifest, and so they have the ability to communicate. They have the ability to express. They have the ability to even manipulate and misdirect. They are very smart. They're very, very mental energy here with the magician. And you can see that. You can see that. Makes sense. I like this. Is okay. This connection makes sense. All right. So let's go look at the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Here, with Mercury in Cancer, they have associated the keyword intuition, which is interesting because that makes sense too. Cancer, again, being about the very nourishing energy, and Mercury about communication. But here they have also given the keyword change. But yeah, I do see communication, I do see the expression, and then we have this very nurturing, sort of deeply sensitive, intuitive energy of Cancer. Makes sense? Makes sense. Intuition is a very good word. Now you see these sigils here, these or these discs. Well, I think the book says one is the pentacle, one is the seal, and the angel of the moon. So I think, yeah, one all these discs. So this meditating figure floating above a cloud holds two lotus flowers, which is intuitive and inspired creativity. Right. So we have thoughts and feelings that are inseparable because, feelings from Cancer, thoughts from Mercury, they come together here, and so they're inseparable. So decisions that are based on feelings and thoughts also. The past, right, will also will play a big role here in sort of dictating or sort of nudging you towards certain kind of decisions because what happened when we did this the last time, right? And that will help this energy decide, how do we do it this time, right? There's a very intuitive response to everything. There's a lot of mental activity within their home. Makes sense? Yeah, mental activity within the home, Cancer. These are people who read a lot. They have a lot of books and they read and they absorb things very quickly. They collect snippets of knowledge and they have excellent memory. There's a talent for writing. They love long conversations, but with friends and loved ones, people they trust. Very Cancer. They love gossip. Mercury loves gossip. They have traditional ways of thinking. I guess that's Cancer. And it's based on early childhood conditioning. For them, the thoughts and opinions of close family and friends, they matter a lot. And history and old memories, right? This energy can also be about visit from someone that or studying at home, right? Advice from family and friends. It's a very interesting card, very interesting energy, Mercury in Cancer. Now, in the tarot, this is also the Three of Cups. So the number 3 again is about creativity. It's about abundance, about growth. It's about manifesting both loss and gain, right? So in that sense, now let's look at the Three of Cups, Mercury in Cancer. Here, we do see three ladies, or these often are connected with the 3 muses, right? We see the harvest happening. So there's that reason. There's grapes and there's pumpkins. As far as timing goes, right? Right now, Cancer is associated with very much in the summer in the northern hemisphere. So I guess you could say this is associated. I don't know if it's associated with the harvest. I have to go see my chart. I'm really bad with that. Nevertheless, we do see those symbols here. But there is a get together, there's drinking, there's a party, and there's an emotional bond, right? There's creativity too, because, 3. This could be a networking event. This could be drinks with family and friends, right? This could be all of that. In the Marseille Tarot, you see these 2 cups now, and then the third emerges, right? So there's the seed, then we have the leaves and the fruits and the flowers, and the third comes up. So this way, they have tried to show that the 3 of Cups is about birth. It's about, again, this keyword, do you remember it is associated with the 2 of Cups in the previous decan? We have a generational something new from an alliance of the 2. We have something new brings joy. We have caring for a child. This card can also talk about parent-child relationships and other issues related to that. Or again, this is a common project motivated by feelings. So where, again, feelings are the reason why whatever this collaborative thing is happening. Mercury is about collaboration too, right? Communication, coming together. We see, let's look at this. We have abundance as the keyword here in the thought. And these flowers are kind of like showering all this watery energy in these 3 cups here, right? We have fulfillment, we have joy, there's fertile exchange, well-being, rich harvest, good business dealings, teamwork, joy. All of these, celebrations is very interesting. Mercury brings that. See, because of Mercury, this whole business and communication and network, those meanings come into play within that, the realm of cups. And so we do see that happening. Yes, this could be a business party, a networking party. And then finally, a time of plenty, mirth, enjoyment of good things in life, abundance of riches and friendship, games, joy, singing. This card, beautiful, beautiful lady with all this, we have 3 cups. We have these, I don't know if it's a moon or it's a Mercury, but yeah, we have that. We have the singing, the harp, all of this is happening. Beautiful. So yeah, but again, this could also be Venus. Why? Because Venus is about creativity too, right? There is something being created, birth, right? This energy is there. There is joy. There is something beautiful that is manifesting. So, that's just that's again something I realized when I was making these slides, is that, Mercury and Venus could interchange their places in both these cards, 2 and 3 of Cups, and we'd still be okay with it, I think. So here we go. We have this little visualization for you guys to see how the energy of Mercury and Cancer shows up here in the 3 of Cups and other, cards that have that connection. Again, Cancer bringing that whole watery, nourishing vibe, and Mercury bringing communication and connection. Okay. And finally, now we move to the 4 of Cups. Here too, I seem to have forgotten to remove this design part. Okay, but this is the 3rd and final decan of Cancer. This will start on the 12th of July and go all the way till the 22nd of July. Okay, and this is associated with Moon in Cancer and the 4 of Cups. So, 3rd decan of Cancer, which is 21 to the 30 degrees of Cancer. The Picatrix description is a man holding a snake in his hand. Okay. Well, here we go, snake. We have having a foot similar to the foot of a turtle. I haven't seen a turtle's foot, so I really wouldn't know where it shows up here, but okay. And possessing golden jewelry. Okay, you see that? And here too, this imagery is associated with Artemis in this particular deck. So that's why we have her, because she's associated with the moon goddess and the goddess of the hunt as well. And so these are her dogs, right? So this one is this Decan is associated with tricks, driving away by force, achieving objectives by fighting, struggle and repulsion. Interesting. Again, I doubt if we see these meanings in our tarot cards really in the Four of Cups, but that is the vibe of this deck. Moon in now. Moon rules Cancer. Okay. It is also again very watery. So water and water. Oh my God, Moon and Cancer is just all water. And Moon is about your personality. Moon is about your feelings, your emotions. It's about, again, motherhood, right? Moon and Cancer is like double mother energy. We have, family traditions. Again, a lot of the Cancer and Moon vibes kind of overlap with each other. We have the nurturing, we have the receptivity, the feminine drive, instinctive responses, intuition, inner motivations, right? Emotional undercurrents, emotional security. All of this is the moon, right? It's all about the feelings. And then on the flip side, of course, we have insecurities, anxiety, and personal, touchy personal defenses and inner fear, right? Perception is the key word here, yeah? Moon. Makes sense. And here in our tarot, it is associated with the High Priestess, which we know it's all about intuition and contemplation, because she has this access to the knowledge. I mean, just not just the book knowledge, which is great, but also the knowledge that sort of comes from within, someone who is very intuitively attuned to the spiritual vibes. She is the guardian of this veil in a way, right? Here she holds up this veil. And here, we have all the moon energies and flowy, watery energies, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love the High Priestess. I just do. This is the card that pulled me into the tarot, I will say. So yeah, so High Priestess. It's about silence. It's about wisdom. It's about intuition. It's about in a very interestingly virginity and purity. This is about sort of the hidden knowledge and feminine wisdoms, the instinctive sort of wisdom. And on the flip side, this one can be there's also this whole, manipulation, someone who's very passive, right? Someone who holds the secrets, but, reversed, she reveals the secrets. That's the flip side. But yeah, so we have all this beautiful moon energy that comes here. And I see that. I see that in this particular card. So, Moon in Cancer from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Here, this one's called friendship. So Moon is security, Cancer is nurturing attachment. Also remember, because Moon rules Cancer, Moon is exalted in Cancer. So my goodness, the Moon is just going to thrive in this space, right? In this particular decan, in this particular sign. Moon is very happy. It's at home, right? So yeah, these people are very comfortable with their emotions, empathy, psychic sensitivity to the feelings and thoughts of other people, the whole motherly vibe. Someone with Moon in Cancer is going to mother and smother you, I think. But again, they'll probably also be extra loving and maybe helicopter parents, I don't know. They could be someone who will maybe really good with food. That's something that matters to me. They need to, yeah, there you go, good cook. And they love good food, and they'll probably be, they'll give you good food to eat. But again, feelings and emotions are what will be the factor that drives them every aspect of their life, right? They can be protective and defensive, and friends and family are everything. That means everything to them. Early parental influence or lack thereof plays an important role. And so with this energy can also talk about, again, very interesting, family gatherings. So 3 of Cups, anyone? Anniversary celebrations, inheritance of heirlooms, genealogy, distant relations, moving house, sharing of Oh, sharing a friend or family member's problems. Okay. Yeah, I can see that, people coming to the person who has that moon in Cancer vibe and basically just telling them everything. These guys are just like, sit down, let me get you some, something to drink, a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, some food, soup, what have you. Sit down, talk to me, ice cream. Yeah, I get that. Moon in Cancer. Even in this card, we have children playing in a wheat field among cornflowers. They share delight in the flight of the heron, this bird. The crescent moon is fruitfulness, and these two symbols on the other side are the ancient alchemical symbols of the moon metal, which is silver. Interesting. Makes sense. Because silver sort of is silvery and therefore moon, and gold, I guess, would be sun. Okay. So, yeah, Four of Cups. So, four is about stability, foundation, order, and structure, but also rigidity and stagnation. Because, anything that just stays the way it is, it's gonna stagnate and become rigid. Makes sense. So, we see that energy big time here, that rigidity, that stagnation happening in the Four of Cups. There's this song from by this band called The Doors. When the music's over, turn up the lights. Why do I say that? Because, what happens when the party's over? That party, which was in the Three of Cups. You see this guy? He's done. He can't drink no more. It's like, first, like, is this hand coming and saying, hey, you want one more drink? And he's like, no, I'm done. I've had way too much to drink, or that's it, I'm done. This guy's done. For him, the party's over. Or he's nursing this horrible hangover the next day. He's like, nah, I can't. I like this. This is the big stagnating energy of the four, right? So here, even with Moon in Cancer, this Four of Cups card energy is all about boredom and procrastination and listlessness and no desire to take action. Here we see the very sort of negative shades of, I don't think it's negative, but it's going there. It's like, oh my god, the moon is super emo, and the Cancer is like, nope. See that hands folded? I'm gonna fold in on myself, go in my protective shell. I am not doing anything with any of these cards. That's his vibe. I can see that. It's the whole, I don't even want to go outside my house right now. I mean, maybe it's the hangover, maybe it's the drinking, maybe the party's over for this guy. Yeah. So it's interesting, like when you keep a bowl of water, even if you cover it up and you keep it on the side and, you make sure it doesn't move or it doesn't get, shaken in any way, even if it's like fresh water that you put in there and it's covered and everything, few days later that water starts to taste stale. Yes, I mean, if you haven't experienced that, you can. That's what I what that's what this four and water energy coming together kind of sometimes is all about. It's the stagnation. And but then, different ways, different cards, I think, are presenting it very, very differently. Here in the Marseille, you see these four cups. This is not stagnating. There's flowers, right? Four different emotions are coming together and sort of, creating that stability. This is stability of emotion. This could be a family, a collective of people, or a community where, where emotions have become that sort of reason why they've come together and they've created this framework, this stability. This is the collective, a sense of history and belonging, which is all Cancer, Moon, both. Yeah, we are looking at stable relationships here. It's a secure vibe, right? Now, when you look over here, the keyword here is luxury. That makes sense, right? Moon again bringing this emotional and really, beautiful, emotional, rich vibe. Again, in its home sign of Cancer. Oh my, yes, luxury. Yeah, you're being taken care of big time. You're enjoying life. There's emotional security, the family and work situation and culture is very well established. There's well connected groups, right? So there's a sense of security. You are being nourished and you're being taken care of. Now, whether this is the like monetary luxury can be, your mileage may vary, but for me, this is like more like an emotional luxury. You feel so safe here in this moon in Cancer vibe, right? You see the different shades happening. And here we have Artemis, right? She's running, she's participating in the hunt. Her dogs are there with all these cups. This is about blended pleasure, luxury, initial comfort, security that becomes stifling. Oh, oh, oh. Stability becomes dissatisfaction. The excess of resources prompts acquisition of more via war and conflict. Ah, remember the meaning of the Deccan, which was about, war and conflict? I see where this is coming from. It's like, yeah, and interestingly, you see that in the world today too. You have everything. You can, your every country has everything. Again, Cancer and country, right? But then you want more. You always want more, and so your greed pushes you towards conflict. So even though 4 is about stability, that stability on one hand can become stagnation and create like a lack of interest and disinterest and lack of motivation completely. And on the other side, it can be like, oh, I want more, and let me go get something, or not nicely, but steal it, grab it, whichever way I can, through war and conflict. Wow, shades of 4. So yeah, here you can spend some time looking at this imagery and see how the moon in Cancer energy shows up in the 4 of Cups. Okay. Oh yeah. And then of course I had to, make this slide where I said, okay, let's put all the cards together. The astrology cards are here in the middle. Your planet cards are here. The planet and sign cards are here, and the signs right here at the bottom. This is the whole complete picture of, Cancer and the Decans of Cancer, I guess, in the tarot and other cards that we have. So again, I would like to say that, personally, like, yeah, for a while I have always, as I was making these slides, I was like, wait, Venus could be here in both these cards. I don't know if Venus can show up here. I guess luxury has a very interesting connotation with Venus too. So maybe Venus could show up in all 3 cards or shades of it. Communication of Mercury could also show up here, all 3 cards, I say. And Moon, of course, everywhere. The emotions drive everything in Cancer. So yeah, so this is interesting. But maybe, Venus can go for 3 of Cups also and 2 of Cups also. Same with Mercury, 2 and 3. But Moon is all 3 everywhere because of Cancer. But little slight shades of Venus and Mercury could show up here in the 4 of Cups also. I mean, in terms of meaning and energy, right? That's what I'm saying. And Cancer, of course, likes to take everything under its little canopy, its shell, and sort of wrap everything up and be like, let's me nourish you. I like it. I like it. I like this whole visualization. Again, I like to arrange my cards this way, and I like to do it on my computer because now I can, look at this picture anywhere I go on my devices. But this is nice. Sometimes just looking at the picture, something will click. I promise you this. It's happened a lot for me. So I hope you can enjoy that with the PDF that I created, and you can download that. Right. So now we still have a little ways to go. The supporting cast, because there's the aces, pages, and the court cards, right? Remember, if you watched my very first Decan Walk video, I've always wondered why we have these specific aces attached to the set of 3 cards, right? Which is actually the one cell is not here, but these are seasons, right? So the first every 3 signs is one season. So, but then I was looking at this picture and it suddenly clicked for me. Man, again, see, you stare at something and it clicks. So this is the fixed sign, the middle sign, right? So when we look at the first combination of Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, Taurus is the fixed sign and it's an earth sign. So we have the earth, ace and page at the bottom for the whole entire season, because, you know, fixed sign, fixed everything. And so the attached knight comes up here in the center. And so we have, you know, ace and page and the knight. And then we have the queen, because again, Aries is fire, so the queen of wands. Gemini is air, so the queen, so the king of swords. So now when we come to the second season, which, you know, Cancer is the beginning, but we also have Cancer, Leo, and Virgo here. So Leo is a fire sign, which is the fixed sign in the middle. So we have the ace and page of wands here at the bottom for this entire season. And the knight of wands will be attached to this fixed sign, at least the first two decans. But then we have a queen here on one side and the king on the other side, associated with a related element. So we have the Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles here with Virgo. So what we will see is, for our Cancer decans, 3 decans, we will have the Queen of Cups along with the Ace and Page of Wands for the 2 and 3 of Cups. And then we have the Knight of Wands for the 4. Okay. So here we are, Ace of Wands, the fire, right? Venus in Cancer and Mercury in Cancer. Venus is earth, Mercury is fire. Both earth and fire are, I guess, they're not enemies of each other. They're not friends also, I would say, but they have an okay cordial relationship. But air and fire are just like, they get on, right? Very masculine energies bonding. So this Ace of Wands, you see, is this wand that sort of pops up, and it's fire, 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 right? It's the root of the powers of fire. It's about new beginnings, it's passion, right? And we do see that in the 2 of Cups. We do see that even in the 3 of Cups. There's new beginnings. Something creative will happen here with the Ace of Cups, because, you know, creativity will be sparked. So with the 2 and 3 of Cups, this energy does show up, and this Wands energy is kind of, you know, the impetus, because again, water being very feminine is also given to stagnation. The fire is the necessary, I guess, fire that will get things to move, I guess. So yeah, we need this energy here to support the 2 and 3 of Cups. That, you know what, when you come together and form that partnership, or when you get together with a group and form that collaboration, well, this ace is going to bring that creativity to the fore and, you know, give you the necessary push you need to get things going. And of course, the Page of Wands comes in again. That's also the same energy, root energy. And Page of Wands also basically is a young Wands energy person who likes to take that and sort of go with that. Page of Wands loves showing off their talents and skills. They are driven by their passion, and they want to do everything. They are dynamic, impulsive. They can be dramatic and moody too, but they're very high spirited and enthusiastic. This again, a force of nature. I like that. Energetic, compelling, magnetic, right? All this beautiful fire energy expressed as a person is your Page of Wands. Page is earth and wands are fire, so this is earth of fire. So, well, somewhere groundedness is there with the pages, I guess, but yeah, they just want to do stuff and make it happen. So yeah, I guess this energy of Ace and Page comes in handy with the 2 and 3 and even the 4 of Cups. But then for the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Cups, this Queen of Cups is also there, bringing in her very creative, intuitive, very Cancerian energy, very sensitive. She's water of water. So yeah, actually she should have been associated even with the moon and moon, you know, the 4 of Cups. But, you know, the way things are set up, I guess. But this one, and I think with Cancer, all 3 planets can go, and all, I guess these quote cards can also go with all 3 of them in all the decades of Cancer. So the Queen of Cups brings again this very Cancerian closed cup. Nourishment, love, creativity, intuition, the moodiness, the feelings, the dreams, the psychic energy, this all of it. Yeah. And then the Knight of Wands and the Four of Cups. I guess this is good because that Four of Cups energy really needs to move. And the Knight, well, this Knight's gonna get things moving, if nothing. This is fire of fire, Knight of Wands. So this is again beautiful, double fire energy, right? So the Rider-Waite Knight with that, almost half finished half, the snake, that's the salamander eating its own tail, it's getting there. This guy's always excited and to start something and very adventurous. The very fleshy colored horse, right? So this guy is very much preoccupied with one's desires and impulses and sexuality. Yeah, that's the flesh colored energy there. He's very much interested and invested in that, right? He's again changing directions because his horse going one way, now he's turning around the other way. He's going to face the future, which is on this side. Here, your Prince of Wands with the lion chariot, right? He's a daredevil, he's a hero. Oh, Thoth likes to show him in a very nice way. A risk taker, adventurer, right? He's also hot headed. And then finally, the Knight of Wands here. Notice these pyramids in the background because, again, since it's the fire suit, we will see pyramids here, and because it's in the desert, and these pyramids, I guess, of Egypt. So yeah, this Knight of Wands is youthful, generous, romantic, the passion, charismatic, lust for life. It's generally honorable, striving for success, and he likes attention, likes drama, and the hot air, self-centered energy is there too. But yeah, this guy, fire of fire, again, always ready to try something, do something. He's the page who's kind of grow up now. He wants to go do stuff. He can't sit still. Makes sense. So that energy, again, I think for the Four of Cups, this energy of the Knight of Wands is really, really necessary, I would say. This is what will get that Four of Cups energy to sort of move a little, maybe. So let's put it all together. We've already done that. So let's, take a quick glance in this Two of Cups, how this energy of Venus in Cancer comes together. Then in the Three of Cups, we have Mercury in Cancer coming together. All these handouts will be there in that folder, the Google Drive, so you can download it and spend some time, study, and come up with your own connections and combinations. But definitely tell me what you think if this Moon, Venus, and Mercury energy could kind of travel, all three cards and still be okay. Shades of them are in all the cards, I would say. And finally, the Moon in Cancer, right? So yeah, this was my presentation of all the three decans of the sign of Cancer. And as I said earlier, let me know if you think this makes more sense or this is much more interesting too, because it had gotten, I would say, a little bit monotonous with the same thing. Now I'm putting all three in one. It's also a time saver, but so let me know what you think. And I will see you again, I guess, with Leo, right? And that begins on the 23rd of July with Five of Wands. So I will see you sometime after that. And yeah, let me know. So what do you think? And again, I'll go with my feelings. And Cancer, I guess Cancer told me to go with my feelings and went with it all the way. So I don't know what Leo is going to do for me, but we'll see. Either it'll be just the Five of Wands, or it'll be the whole sign of Leo at some point during that decan or decans. And I will see you then. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.